All right, so do you inhale? Well, if you do in California soon, it just may be legal. Pot on the ballot now. The vote in November to be used for recreational use. Andy Serwer, Fortune Managing Editor, with us now to talk about it. You know, we've heard politicians, I smoked, but I didn't inhale, that sort of thing. But the history of pot in this country could change in a matter of months.
Yeah, it's been changing for a while. It seems to be picking up steam. Gives new meaning to the phrase California dreamin', I guess,
there
Poppy.
You go.
There's
or
a lot of little puns we could do here, and we probably will, so be advised. What's been going on over the past couple of years is a movement towards decriminalizing marijuana, essentially through medical marijuana. There are now 14 states where medical marijuana is allowed, and more states are considering that. California, you've got a whole new situation going on. On Wednesday, the state approved a measure whereby a legalization bill will be voted on by the citizens of California. And this will be to legalize marijuana, not medically, simply to legalize it. And the reason this time it's not about medicine, it's about money.
It's all about money because California is facing a multi-billion-dollar budget shortfall. Jobs are scarce at best.
Right.
What are they going to do? This is a financial argument that if you sell pot legally, you can take all of the taxes on it and help fill some of that shortfall. But Andy, is the argument that it's really going to bring in enough money to turn around the crisis that state is facing? Is that a fair argument?
Well, no one really knows. I mean, first of all, there's a $20 billion budget shortfall in the state of California, and the advocates of this bill suggest it could bring in $1 billion. So not that big. It obviously puts a dent in it. They'd also say that it would save a lot of money in terms of law enforcement and crime. So there's added benefits there. You know, maybe people would travel to California, sort of marijuana tourism, so you get more money that way. I mean, then there's a whole lot of unintended consequences. But if you think about it, I mean, this really is a change because people say that the medical marijuana thing was sort of a Trojan horse, a way for people to get, you know, recreational marijuana sort of legal or semi-legal in these states. And in California, you know, they're really going to consider, should we be legalizing marijuana? And 56% of people surveyed in California say they support it. Now, that doesn't mean this measure is going to pass because, you know, voting is very different from a poll, though.
What does it mean if this passes in California, Andy, on a national scale, really on a global scale? It's the beginning of just what we've seen with medical marijuana, right? That it goes from state to state to state to state until you have most approving of it.
Well, you raise a very good point, though, with jurisdictions, though, Poppy, because right now marijuana is against the law in the United States. Unclear what would happen if it was legal in a state. What would President Obama and Congress do? That's unclear. Also, there are certain jurisdictions in California, towns and cities, which could opt out if it was legal on a state-by-state basis. And yeah, marijuana is illegal around the globe. There are United Nations statutes that suggest that it's illegal and the rest. So it's very unclear how this would play out.
I got to ask you this one. If we were to see pot legalized in California and then across the nation, do we see major pot corporations pop up, just like alcohol companies, the Anheuser-Busch of pot, if you will?
Or would the government be in it? I mean, these are really kind of cool questions. I mean, does a tobacco company like Philip Morris already have a plan for marijuana in the works? You know, when we've asked these companies these questions before, Poppy, and they're very reluctant to talk about it, which to me, and not mentioning Philip Morris here, but to me it suggests that some companies do have these plans sort of on the back burner.
Buy a pack of joints.
Yeah, something like that.
Can you imagine that?
I can't even imagine it, Poppy. Can't even imagine it.
Fascinating stuff, Andy. Thank you.
Thank you.